Oh. I'm a year again. Look like horseflies and shit. It's just sitting in it. I'm gonna stink of that.
For some odd reason, there are flies swarming all over their house. Oscar says that he can't think of any rational explanation.
No, he probably has wife and kids in the garage.
Oscar's son has fallen asleep on the living room couch. The young boy wakes up and sees something that
I was about to say, is he alive? He wakes up like, oh, okay, never mind. Did you see it? Turn to the side.
Hears a strange noise and runs to his parents' bedroom.
Probably his dad creeping on him.
Fear. The young boy tells his dad that he saw someone scary in the hallway. But did you see it? When Oscar checks his security footage, he sees a large figure that looks like a man just standing in the hallway, staring at his son. Even weirder, whatever this is just seems to disappear into
No, it doesn't.
air.
It turns to the right. It turns in.
His family have no idea who or what this is. Frightful photobombs. This next weird story was discovered by the YouTube channel /podcast Haunted City Studios. So, a woman named Vernice posts on Facebook that she's been having some very odd experiences and thinks that some sort of spirit or entity has attached itself to her and her youngest daughter. Vernice says that recently when she takes a photo of her daughter, the pictures often come out very strange and disturbing. Vernice posted a few pictures that definitely make her point. First up, Vernice snapped this photo of her youngest daughter in the pool. She's being playfully dunked underwater by her sister, but she looks like this.
Oh my.
That's not right.
Oh my gosh.
The daughter's face looks like a horror special effect.
It really does.
It looks like a mask.
Right.
Deep set dark eyes, very pale skin. It's unsettling to look at because you're trying to make a normal face out of it and you just can't.
No.
As mentioned, for some odd reason in this photo, Vernice's daughter's face just...
shots?
Well, it doesn't look like
it doesn't look
face.
right. Can you give us a second example?
Posted another photo she took of her young daughter crouching on the bed.
Oh.
What pictures of your kids?
Nope.
Okay, and that's just easy.
Really weird.
Here's the thing. Look, what is that?
Like, this child might be possessed, like for real.
It is very upsetting to look at this and think it could be anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, if this is some dark spiritual attachment appearing in Vernice's photos, then it's not just limited to her daughter. When Vernice receives a speeding ticket in the mail from an automatic traffic camera, something odd shows up in that photo.
Is it gonna be blurred like all fucking...
insane.
Yeah.
There's a figure sitting next to her. It's very clear. And it actually... when I first saw it, I thought it was an old woman.
That's what I thought. That's what I still think.
Then
I don't see anything.
The more I look at it, the more I see kind of classic depictions.
I can barely see either one of them.
Big head,
if there is a
neck,
second person, I can barely see it. I gotta remember the steering was on the right side of the car, right?
There's two people in there. One's living, one's
I think
not.
that's it.
Something with an abnormally large, distorted head seems to be sitting in the passenger
Same thing, big
seat,
size as her head.
right
What are you talking about?
Vernice. So just what do you
Bernice
think is
looks like
going
she's
on
a
in all
skeleton.
Vernice's photos lately, even in pictures that she didn't take herself? Let me know what you think.
Got her not knowing how fucking focused
The cabin in the
exposure
woods.
and shit.
A man in Mexico named Antonio has a business where he builds, sells, and rents cabins in Mazamitla, Jalisco, Mexico. Late one night, he is working all alone outside an empty old cabin. Suddenly, he notices a strange flickering light coming from one of the windows. He pulls out his phone and records as he goes to check. And what he sees makes his blood run cold.
Oh, there's a light flick. Lightning. Is there a fucking short? Why is there lightning inside the house?
Antonio is completely alone. There's not supposed to be anyone inside the cabin.
Why is there
As he
lightning?
watches in terror, he sees someone in the flickering light, slowly
That's not a
approaching the
flickering
windows
light.
to look out at him. And whoever this is has no discernible features.
That's
and
not
looks
a
almost
flickering
like a
light.
shadow, even in the bright flickering light. Antonio gathers his courage and goes inside the cabin to investigate.
The thing is, if it happens in timeships of prone possibly having people think about it. If somebody's only staying in there a certain amount of time of the year and no one's staying there, somebody else could be staying in there. You'll never know. This is supposed to be where the light was coming from? In that bathroom? Huh? Is that what they were trying to say?
Antonio is a bit nervous as he checks through the rooms, but the entire cabin
Is that what happened?
completely empty. Now, it should be noted that Antonio usually only uses his social media for his business, either to display properties he's worked on or cabins that he is renting. This is the only supernatural video that Antonio has ever posted. So, what do you think? Just who or what
Where's that light coming
is
from?
this? From the shadows. This next video was sent in by Nukes Top 5 viewers Tuva and Sunniva from Norway. So
Okay.
Tuva says that she and her family moved into a new apartment in May of last year. And before this, they had never experienced anything paranormal. In fact, Tuva says that she and her sister Sunniva are very much skeptics. Or at least they were. Until this happened.
Ok, house tour. Så her er rommet mitt. Der står jeg, der står Tuva. Ut her er stua. Og det her...
Did you see it? As Sunniva is recording a video house tour for a friend, there is something black and weird just standing in front of the apartment door. The figure is so shadowy that it blends right into the darkness, but Sunniva says that she could easily see it with her naked eye. Sunniva lets out a frightened gasp and jerks her phone back so hard that it hits her other hand and knocks out the microphone. Now, when the
It
video
looks like
is
a hard cut.
brightened a lot,
It looks like a hard cut.
you can see that whatever this is actually blocks out the light from the peephole in the door. Sister,
And here we go down enough to right there, and there could be a cut.
sister,
Any of this down here can be a
woman who was
cut.
former tenant passed away in the apartment.
Yeah, don't talk about someone who's passed away. When you start talking about bringing out incidents of someone who's died, you are touching a ground that you have no fucking comprehension on. Well, somebody died here last week. Somebody's died where you are, period. And people will die where you stand later, okay? And if we believe time is finite thing in the first place, either way goes again. Somebody has died where you are. You are breathing in dead people molecules all the time. So it's not if something did or somebody does. It's most likely not somebody you fucking know.
So could this be her presence still occupying their home? You decide. Oh, you tell me what you think.
It looks like bullshit.
In this next video, a woman named Natasha
It
says
looks
that her
like
Ring
complete
doorbell
bullshit.
camera caught something trying to yoink her bike.
I don't know.
And in this clip, a baby is crawling across the floor when something seems to pull its leg. Now, usually with these baby videos, I just think it's the baby moving in a weird way and no big deal.
That looked weird.
This kid's leg moves back at a very odd angle, and the baby seems to be a bit upset by whatever is back there. But as always, you decide.
Yeah,
If
that
you
looks
see
weird.
something that you
No,
think
no
would be
cap.
perfect
That
for
one,
the
no
top
cap.
5, email me at
No
Nukes
cap.
Top 5 but
No
as
cap.
always, you decide. A bit upset by whatever is back there. But as always, you
The left leg slots the floor. There's no way the baby did that. The momentum doesn't make any sense there.
but as always, you
Watch. Yeah, the baby completely sit across the floor. No matter whatever that was, something did pull it. You know, a ghost or whatever or not. But that's
decide.
the baby didn't do. I don't believe the baby did that.
If you see something that you think would be perfect for the top 5, email me at nukestop5@gmail.com. You can also tag me on TikTok at nukestop5official. And be sure to tag me only at nukestop5official because there are a lot of fake accounts on there. Playtime is over. A woman named Jessica says that she has recently purchased a fun playhouse for her daughter that looks very similar to their own house, complete with its own motion-sensing doorbell camera.
Yeah, don't do that.
For a house tour, Emma's.
Don't do that. And if you ever hear
Show
knocking
them the door, okay?
at the door, just don't answer.
Really wanted it to have
please.
a doorbell camera like our front door.
But since then, things around their house have gotten a little
Don't wanna go
spooky.
there.
Jessica's daughter says that she sometimes sees a quote-unquote scary guy in their house.
What guy?
The guy.
The guy is at the door.
Guy.
Can we go together?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want
You
to
listen
open
to
the
your
door or do you
kid?
want mommy to open it?
I want mommy to open it.
Okay.
Why is there a thing going through the door already?
There.
The guy?
Yeah. He's scary.
Is that your address,
scary.
ma'am?
I'm scared.
I don't think you should be posting that because you probably got the numbers there because it's like the same numbers to your
Jessica's daughter
your old
claims
house
that
maybe.
the
Looks like you live in an
scary
apartment
guy
now.
is in her room, but Jess doesn't see anyone or anything. She
Take the
just
house out.
dismisses the whole incident as likely being her daughter's overactive imagination. But then, a few nights later, something happens that absolutely freaks Jessica out. Jess is sitting in her living room when she suddenly receives a motion alert. Not from her own doorbell camera, but from the one on her daughter's little playroom house. When Jessica checks the notification, what she sees is like something right out of a horror movie.
Really? Mannequin. No, it's the door opening and shutting. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe in the slightest. I think the mannequins will be turned. Oh, how did you miss that opportunity? How did you miss that opportunity? You should have turned the mannequin when the door was shut. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. Turn the mannequin. Turn the mannequin. You can do it. I believe in you. Mannequin? Mannequin? Turn the fucking mannequin. I know you can do it. Now you're just being a cocktease. So the mom's not like trying to talk through it or do anything. She's just recording all this stuff happening. Mannequin. Damn it, the mannequin's not turned. Let me guess they're gonna do something like that, yeah. I was like, oh, maybe open up the side window, but it's like, no, that would just be stupider. Oh, man. Come on, just turn the mannequin already. Mannequin's turned facing us. Nope. So she's there watching it open and shut now? Yeah, she didn't push that thing all the way to the end.
Now a note on this clip. This is not a motion camera that pans around the room on its own motor. This camera is actually attached to the playhouse door. So this back and forth motion means that the playhouse door is actually opening and closing.
Yeah, and there's a whole dimension that this thing's opening by itself.
Catches a little playtime mannequin head in the corner of the playhouse, and its hair seems to be lifted up by some unseen force, and then just suddenly drops back down.
It looks fake as
After
shit.
this, Jessica has had about enough. She says that she took down the little playhouse.
Yeah, and then her daughter leaves the other room, and then
says that
this.
she sees the quote-unquote scary guy back in their house. Passing through. Facebook user Alicia Pinman posted this next creepy video to Facebook. She says that late
Creepy,
one night
but I
her
don't think it's
husband
real.
went to take the recycling out, but as he's walking back into the house, something happens that Alicia and her husband just can't explain.
That was weird.
As Alicia's husband heads back to their house, an odd, creepy mist or apparition seems to pass right behind him, possibly partially through him. As you can tell in the video, Alicia's
Could be a
husband
gust
feels
of wind.
something strange move by him, but he has
But it definitely
no
could be like
idea
a
what
gust
he
of
just
wind.
felt, and he doesn't see the bizarre mist. The couple reviews their ring cam, and they are a bit spooked. After
That is
Alicia
creepy.
posted this to Facebook, there were many theories as to what
I don't
this
believe
could
that was
be.
like some kind of ghost.
But there was no fog that
That's a
night,
weird
and
coincidence.
no one can figure out just what this odd mist is. What do you think?
What was it for the weird discoloring?
The jinn just outside. A man in Pakistan named Abdullah says that a few times over the last few months some very strange things have been happening in his house. Late one night while he is sleeping, things start to get really weird.
कौन अब्बा अपना नाम बताओ पहले मुझे अपना नाम मेरा नाम अब्दुल्ला अपना नाम बताओ तुम्हारा अब्दुल्ला मैं हूं तुम नहीं हो नहीं खोलना मैंने ओके मुझे आयतुल कुर्सी आती है मैं आयतुल कुर्सी पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दूंगा निकल जाओ यहां से आओ अंदर आओ 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 अंदर अब जो भी हो मगर मेरी एक बात याद रखना जहां से भी तुमने जो भी करना तुम
Something seems to plead with Abdullah to enter his room. Something that claims to actually be him. Abdullah believes that it might be a jinn or shapeshifter, as these entities are often said to imitate others to try to fool them. When Abdullah opens the door, something seems to actually come inside as a poster on the wall falls to the floor. Abdullah believes that a jinn might be attached to him and that he might have made a terrible mistake by letting it in.
आओ अंदर आओ 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 अंदर अब
Abdullah tries to prove what he is experiencing in a live stream.
And I thought I should just come live because some people just don't believe this thing. I've heard some knocking.
But unfortunately, nothing happens. But weeks later, Abdullah gets a strange visitor again, and he is terrified.
मैंने नहीं खोलना لا لا إله إلا هو الحكيم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم لا 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 هو في السماوات وما في الأرض عنده يعلمون ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون به لما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض لا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم तो मुझे क्या क्या है तुम्हें भूख लगी या खाना खाओ मेरे पीछे तंग मत करो मैंने नहीं खोलना इसे
But yeah, I'm hearing my voice or somebody else's voice.
Frightened, Abdullah stammers as he recites a verse from the Quran, but this only seems to make matters worse. He yanks the door open, and nothing there. After this last odd encounter, Abdullah says that he hasn't experienced anything since. But is this a jinn terrorizing poor Abdullah? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
I think a hoax.
Scurry
Maybe a
videos. So a few more funny and or weird videos to end out this list. So sometimes ghosts move things and moan and just generally make a lot of noise. But when the people in the house are a little too loud, the ghost can get a bit pissy.
Oh. Oh wow.
So did a ghost just take that running kid out? Who knows? But probably not. Anyway, sometimes at Halloween, you might try to scare your friend.
It could be the house level. It could have actually popped up.
But he might have the same idea. And finally, sometimes your ghost hunt in an old building might find a, not ghost.
Oh, there's a TV.
Why did it just close, bro?
The Skinwalker? What the
Oh my god!
He said, "Is it a skinwalker?"
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you back next time.
Got a Mac and a
Skinwalker?
Is it a skinwalker? Nah, brother. We called them niggas. We called them niggas. The nigga was hugging up to the door. He know he going to jail. Is it a skinwalker? No, we call them niggas.